How's it going, Jack Tackers, and welcome back to another video for you guys. Today I'm going to be ranking all of the Star Wars films from worst to best. But before we get into this, I want to let you guys know that this is my opinion. People seem to get really heated when it comes to Star Wars and other people's opinions, and they seem to get pretty fucking disrespectful. So just remember, this isn't the right ranking. There is no such thing as the right ranking because film is subjective and it always will be. Alright, let's get into this. At number 12, I have Star Wars The Clone Wars movie. I decided to include this on the list because why not? It was theatrically released, and I actually do have quite a bit of nostalgia for it. However, it's at the bottom of the list mainly because it just does not hold up at all. I actually haven't seen the Star Wars The Clone Wars TV show yet. I really want to, though. But this movie, a lot of people say who are fans of the show, they dislike this movie for the most part. So if that's an indication of the series, it's not, thankfully, because I do want to get into the series. But overall, this movie as a whole, it is pretty boring. It's just not exciting at all. I mean, I remember seeing this when I was really young, and it just kind of, I guess, flew over my head. I mean, whatever. It's a movie out there that exists, but other than that, it's just really forgettable. At number 11, I have Solo: A Star Wars Story. Now, I enjoy this to an extent. It's not an awful movie, definitely not. However, again, it just does get boring at times. Yes, it is exciting at certain moments, but the majority of the time I am kind of bored. And obviously, someone, I forget the actor's name, but who plays Han Solo in this film, no one can replace Harrison Ford, so I kind of just wish that this movie didn't really exist, I guess, because it just feels so weird having a different person play Han Solo. But you know, for what it is, it's fine. I don't hate this film, but yeah. At number 10, I have Star Wars Episode 2, Attack of the Clones. This personally is the weakest of the trilogy for the prequels. Now, with that being said, I actually do think this has some redeeming qualities. I mean, you do have some Jango Fett and Obi-Wan action that is pretty cool. And, you know, the ending battle sequence was really exciting. And, you also get to see Yoda wield a lightsaber for the first time and fight Count Dooku. It's really cool. However, all of the stuff with Anakin and Padme, it's just bad. I mean, the writing in this film is bad, the CGI is bad, but you know, it is what it is. In terms of a general story, overall, it's fine. I'll be honest. It's not awful. However, it's just got to be lower on this list because of the Anakin and Padme stuff is almost unbearable at times to watch. At number 9, I have Rogue One: A Star Wars Story. I really enjoy this movie. However, again, I kind of have the same issues I have with Solo. It's kind of boring at times, but the final battle, I guess you could say, was really exciting. And, you know, to see Vader, all the Vader scenes were amazing, honestly. And the overall tone of this film was actually quite different from other Star Wars films, so I can respect that. It was a bit darker, it is a bit grittier, it kind of feels more like an actual war movie, and it's a good time, I guess, but there are the moments where it's boring, so it's like, you know, it's got me split 50-50 on this film, but it's definitely not bad, and enjoyable at times. At number 8, I have Star Wars: The Last Jedi. Now, this movie's crazy. I mean, the fact that so much people talk about this film, it's crazy the amount of drama, I guess you could say, it's brought to the Star Wars fandom. And what are my thoughts on it? Well, it's not at the tippy top of this list, but it's not really towards the bottom, I guess, either. I think it's fine. I don't know. I mean, it kind of hurts my head whenever I try and think about this movie because it actually is a complex film, but I don't know if I want Star Wars to be like this. I don't know if I want Star Wars to hurt my head thinking about shit. Like, it's just I don't want to say confusing because it's not, but it's annoying. The fan base around it is annoying, but the movie by itself is fine. But I mean, it's like everyone around it. Mark Hamill, he didn't like the direction Luke's character went, which just hurts me and makes me feel like I shouldn't like Luke's character. But I'm not like that. I do try and form my own opinions because that's what you should do in life and be your own person, whatever. So, like, my own thoughts on the film, yeah, it is just fine. I mean, I don't think it's awful. It's a weird movie, all right? It's a weird movie. This is why it kind of lands right in the middle of the list because I don't know if I like really love it or just really hate it. I'll be honest, but that's why I'm saying it's fine for now. At number 7, I have Star Wars: The Force Awakens. I enjoy this. I enjoy this movie. I think it's pretty solid. There's very few negatives. However, I mean, if I had to point out any, it'd just be the overall vibe of the film. Coming off of the prequels because those were really the last Star Wars films up until this. It just felt weird. It didn't really feel like classic Star Wars, I guess. But all of the fan servicey moments that happen in this film are pretty good. And they do have some fun sequences in this film, so it's just a fine movie. It's nothing bad, really. At number 6, I have Star Wars Episode 1: The Phantom Menace. I think this is underrated, actually. I know a lot of people kind of despise this movie, but to be honest, I have a lot of nostalgia for this film as well. But, even if I am blinded by nostalgia for this film, I don't know. I mean, I still like it. Like, I've rewatched it recently. I enjoy it, I really do. I don't think it's perfect, but for many of the issues people have with this film, like Jar Jar Binks, I mean, I didn't like him as much as I thought I used to, but he's just there, I guess. He's not annoying. I wouldn't call him, like, really annoying, and that he ruins the film. Young Anakin Skywalker, I thought he was fine. I didn't think he was, like, amazing, but it is what it was. And the pod racing scene, Darth Maul, I know those are always the highlights that are pinpointed out of this film. And they're good scenes. I mean, honestly, some of the best of the entire series. So, I don't know, man. It's not bad. It really isn't. At number 5, I have the newest Star Wars film. That is Star Wars Episode 9: The Rise of Skywalker. Interesting. This is an interesting movie, I'll be honest. This is another one of those movies that makes me think, and I've just seen it last night at the time of me making this video. But I do like it. I do like this movie. However, I do think it could have been shortened in some aspects. I do think that it is boring at times. But when it's not boring, it's kind of great. I'll be honest. But again, the majority of the film is boring. I liked, for the most part, how they ended off the Skywalker saga. And don't worry, I'm not going to get into any spoilers here. But yeah, I mean, I thought it was good. It was good. I'll leave it at that. At number 4, I have Star Wars Episode 3: Revenge of the Sith. Now, this is definitely my favorite prequel. I think it's just really fun and just kind of sad at times, though, what happens to Anakin's character and, like, the route he goes in and, him transforming into Vader finally. It's crazy. And all the ties to A New Hope, like, they kind of try and cap it off really well. Um, and I mean, some people have issues with that. Some people have issues with them trying to cap it off because there's still, like, what, 18 years of story to tell in between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope. So, like, oh, why did Yoda go into exile all of a sudden? He could have waited a few more years, blah, blah, blah. I've heard excuses like that. I don't really care. I mean, honestly, it's fan service, and I like fan service at times. I don't like 100% fan service because I do think you should tell your own story, and this film does tell its own story at times. So I think it's really good. I think it's good. Number 3, I have Star Wars Episode 6: Return of the Jedi. This film, I really, really, really love. It's one of my favorites of all time, and I think it gets shit on a lot for no real reason. I mean, I've heard all the excuses. It's boring, it's dumb, the Ewoks suck, which they don't. I mean, the Ewoks are fine. They're not, like, great, but what? People are, like, freaking out about them, like, being, like, ruining the film, and the stuff at Jabba's palace is so bad and weird and whatever. I mean, it's not amazing, but when this film is amazing, similar to Rise of Skywalker, when this film is good, it is amazing. The stuff with Darth Vader and Luke Skywalker, everyone says that's the highlight of the film, and it is. I really enjoy this movie. I think the ending was really good to this film, and I don't know, man. I like this movie. It's good. I don't really know the unnecessary hate it gets. It's weird. At number 2, I have Empire Strikes Back. Now, this used to be my favorite Star Wars film, but like I said previously in this video, I rewatched all the Star Wars films leading up to Rise of Skywalker, and after rewatching Empire for the first time in like maybe 2.5 years, I still love this movie. I mean, obviously it's number 2 on this list. I love Empire Strikes Back. It has some amazing moments in it, and it's just fucking iconic. What else is there to say about it? It's kind of incredible, this film. But there's something about it that like I didn't like as much. Like, I don't know. And I don't really know how to pinpoint it, but there was something about it that I just didn't like it as much as I used to. But again, it's still an amazing film. But yeah, I don't really know what else to say other than that. And at number 1, I have Star Wars. I know people get freaked out when you say A New Hope sometimes, so I'm just gonna call it Star Wars because I mean it is just Star Wars. But this is the best Star Wars film. I didn't think it was, but I've rewatched it. It's incredible. It is a masterpiece. I love this movie, and I loved it before. I loved it before, but now I'm just like so invested in it. And it's great, man. It's great when Luke Skywalker's looking at the two suns and the music's playing is my favorite scene in all of Star Wars. Oh man. Oh man. It's just, I don't know. It's perfect, basically, is all I can say. But anyway, yeah, that's my ranking of the Star Wars films. I guess let me hear yours down in the comments below. And if you guys like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're new. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. Boop.